This episode of Literary Gladiators is brought to you by Larry being in shot. And now to your featured presentation.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
Hi, I'm Larry.
I'm Cyndi.
I'm Aidan.
And I'm Josh. And I'm back on the panel after taking off for an episode. Technically, I was on the first part, but Ari did a great job as head panelist for episode 472B, which was Spirits of the Dead, the second discussion. I thought it would be an interesting experiment to do, and I think it turned out well. And Aidan, it's great to have you back on for season 18.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
All right. It's always a delight to have you, and it's always a delight to have you, Larry and Cyndi.
Hi, yes, so good to see you guys. Delight to be here, as always.
Always good.
And have you consulted your priest about thinking that I would look beautiful in a dress?
I didn't think it, I saw it.
You...
right on the other side of the camera.
Well, fortunately, Josh, the camera was facing this way, and, we were the only ones that got to see such a lovely vision.
Who do you think I am, Rudy Giuliani?
It's a shame that you didn't have a camera pointing back towards you, because it would have been a great reaction shot to have. Like I love, like I was watching I think the last one we were on, Little Mermaid, and I forget what I said. I said something outrageous, and I could see your face go like that. We were just sitting here, and I think it was something about like a balloon or something.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Inappropriate joke or whatever.
Okay. Today we're going to be going over a Shakespeare play. We usually are good for a Shakespeare play one a season, and usually Larry's the one that's been picking them these past few seasons. But back in 17, there was enough enthusiasm for a revisitation of Macbeth, which is my favorite Shakespeare play. But this year, I think many of us can agree, was a pretty good one as well, and that is Othello, The Moor of Venice by William Shakespeare. And you have a discussion starter, Larry?
Yes, I do. I wanted to know what you guys think about what do you think Iago, why did he hate Othello to the degree that he did? And what do you think the play is trying to say about hatred in general? But what do you think motivated his hatred?
Okay, first of all, Iago was probably one of the most distasteful and antagonizing, probably the evilest of Shakespeare villains, because not only was he bitter toward Othello, but he manipulated people, he planted seeds that created even greater problems. He was a very bad husband. He was, the way that he manipulated, he got Cassio drunk the one time to get him to do what he wanted.
Yeah.
But he also had very bad traits. I think one of the biggest ones that really makes this modern is he was incredibly racist. Because the way that he was speaking to Desdemona's father, Brabantio, and just his attitude in certain aspects toward just saying how much he wants to bring down Othello, and in a sense of feeling that because he was because he was a person of color, he wasn't good enough or worthy enough to hold such a position of prestige.
Well, he's an outsider, right? I don't know if they had our modern sensibility about race in these times, but he's definitely an outsider. He's not Venetian, and he is yet he is loved by the people of Venice because he's such a great warrior and he's on their side.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning, Othello, the term Moor, M-O-O-R, was used to describe anybody from northern Africa, and it also applied to Arab people. But Othello himself made mention to the fact of being black in the text. So I think there is, I would say that he was more so reflected somebody of North African descent. And I think he was illustrated very well in the finger puppet Shakespeare that I watched before in order to prepare for this discussion. Because I like to read the play, and then I'll also I'll watch finger puppet Shakespeare to get a just for clarification and see what they have to say.
Now, wasn't it true that Iago was resentful because Cassio was promoted and not himself?
That had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that is an early.
A lot of it,
Yeah, that is an early reason given. But then in the end, when they ask him to make an account for himself, Iago, they say, "Why have you done this?" And Iago says, "I'm not going to say." Right? And I think a reason for that is because there is no satisfactory answer that you can give to committing the kind of vile, disgusting, terrible, awful things that he does throughout this play. And then you're asked to give a reason for it, and whatever you say, it's not gonna satisfy anybody.
Yeah, if you've been honest.
Not even yourself, right? Like you just say, he'd probably feel lame if he said, "Oh, I did it because Cassio." It's a lame reason because Cassio got a job that I wanted, therefore I did all. Like it's you cannot satisfy, right?
But if he'd been honest with them when they asked him, he would have just had to say something like, "Because I'm a liar and a jerk."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that doesn't satisfy either. You know, it's like, so people do awful things for reasons in their minds that they know are bad reasons. You know, or at least they may become conscious of the fact that they're bad reasons after they see the aftermath of what they've done.
You want to say something, Aidan?
I felt like I mean, it's like obvious, just like what they were saying earlier about Iago, like doing it because not only is this man someone who he believed shouldn't have been promoted above him or should not be ranked above him whatsoever, right? But he's also, clearly, like you were saying, he's clearly racist, right? And that's his main motive. I feel like that is his main motivator. It's jealousy. It's just general spite. And I mean, this is a hot take. Iago is my favorite character, not in that I think, oh yeah, he's the best guy ever, right? I enjoy him so much. He makes me so happy. Everything he does makes me just like almost laugh because it's just also entertainingly despicable.
Okay, I get what you're saying because there are villains that are just fun to watch, and he's clearly evil because of the way that he plants the seeds, instigates everybody, manipulates people because he acts like he's kissing Othello's rear when in actuality he's stabbing him in the back in every which way, and he just the way that he the whole between Cassio and Desdemona going out when actually Cassio is going out with Bianca, who is his mistress. But then you have the whole thing with the handkerchief.
He's just like this evil, conniving puppet master just behind pulling the strings, and that's just what I love about him so much, is that he's just like this slippery little scoundrel going around basically ruining this man's entire life, right?
So, yeah.
It's so easy for him to do, right? Like it's so simple for him to do. It's just like, I don't know. I get so much joy out of seeing him do it. He's just like this evil guy, just plainly, simply, like I don't know. It's just the kind of villain that I have so much fun with. Iago just embodies all the qualities, I feel, and it's just I enjoy him so much. He's my favorite part of the play by far.
I agree that I don't know if he's my favorite part of the play. I like Desdemona. I think she's probably my favorite part of the play
Yeah.
because of the fact that I don't think a more pure innocent victim exists in fiction than Desdemona, and how much she does not deserve the fate that befalls her. And it's just, I mean, I wept when she was murdered, even though you know it's coming the whole time. Still, just the emotion of how undeserving of the fate that she received she is. It actually made me cry. First time probably Shakespeare ever has had that effect on me.
Yeah.
And but I definitely see what you're saying about Iago, because he is very entertaining in the way that he does things and the way that he is saying things. Like, the one example that strikes me is when he's talking about something ought to be as it seems, right? He makes that point to Othello when he's talking about Desdemona, but really, Othello agrees, yes, of course, something ought to be what it seems. But meanwhile, the person that he's talking to, Iago, is nothing at all what he seems
so it's
to be.
directly.
Yeah, it's like he's incriminating himself by saying this, but because he's directing in a different way, everybody.
Or maybe that
looking.
like aids it more because he sees him as his good friend. So maybe it's like, I don't know, because like you just said, it has to be as it seems, right?
Yeah.
So like as Iago seems to Othello, he's like his good friend,
and
helping him out. Right?
How many times they call
honest
him
Iago, honest Iago told me, right?
Yeah,
Every time, right?
Right.
But going back to Desdemona though, you're 1,000% right, because it's you said you cried to when she died. She's literally the most innocent like person possible, I feel.
Yeah.
Right? And even when she was accused by him, she's like, even like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no like offensiveness with her, like whatever.
No.
Like she's not fighting any battles. Even when she's like, okay, well, he's probably gonna kill me. She's just like, well, I guess that happens. Like she's just like,
she wants to believe in her husband even then, right? To the point where her fate is all but certain. She's still looking for the light, and that by doing her part the right way, that he will see the error of his ways somehow and change his mind or something. But to the end, she's going to be the perfect wife.
Yeah, she's like honest to the very end. She's like,
Yeah.
even still when he's about to kill her, she's like, I swear I didn't do it. And even like at the end, she's like, when she's like accepted her death and she's singing the song, right? Even when she's accepting her death and she's singing the song there, she's still she's like still asking him. She's like, hey, could you not kill me?
Yeah.
Like I like how she's like, but maybe you couldn't. Like maybe you just don't. And then he's like, nah. Like you're talking about like crying to it. The whole time when I was reading it, like I was understanding the concepts of it, right? And I understood, but it was just really Desdemona. Her character was such an extreme of how you were saying innocence, like such like extreme innocence. Like there's nothing, like no flaws about her, right? Whatsoever. Yeah. Such extreme innocence, and the whole situation. You said it made you cry, just like me looking at how the characters were done and how the situation was going. It actually almost made me laugh a little bit because she's so plainly innocent, right?
Yeah.
And Othello is so it's like. By the way, he's persuaded easily. Like of course, there's like a couple things that might point in that direction that Iago set up, but like once Iago's like, hey, maybe this is maybe this is what's going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like he's kind of piecing it together himself, not just with Iago. Like it seems like he was easily persuaded to that conclusion. Anyway, right? Like he wasn't. I feel like Iago's obviously the villain here, but like we got to think about Othello and what trust he had in his wife, right? Instead of going up to her and talking to her about it like civilly or something like that, he immediately gets angry. He immediately is like, all right, she's dead, right? He goes right away to the extreme. So if you're looking at Iago as the villain, yes, like obviously like duh, he's the villain, right?
Right.
But you can also see Othello not even being close to perfect when it comes to that.
No.
And at the end of the day, is he a savage without the hand of Iago in the background pulling all the strings? Is what the question I feel is. Yeah,
no, that's a good question, because you said like if he was so easily manipulated, and it didn't take much to get him to do, a handkerchief and it came down to a handkerchief and a thought, really.
Yeah.
I initially had I had a sense of admiration for Othello at first, because I felt that him being in the circumstance that he is, being who he was, he was handling he was handling things very gracefully until he started falling for things so quickly and immediately wanting to have his wife Desdemona killed.
Yeah.
Because he just fell for what Iago had to say so easily, and because he didn't, the fact that he didn't want to alter her image the way that he saw it, so he chooses to smother her.
So just like let it die there, right?
Yeah, it was, and that's just a painful, grueling, and just suffering image. The fact that you're just letting her. It's like a long and painful process rather than just something that, like the rest of them, or certain, like Rodrigo and then Othello himself, just stab. They're done. Yeah.
What Iago has is he has the ability to exploit vulnerabilities in his in those that he wants to destroy or those that he wants to aid him in the destruction of others. Is that the vulnerabilities, right? Like with I'm forgetting his name, but what's his name?
Which one are we talking about?
The guy that he sets up with the glove.
Was that Rodrigo?
No.
Cassio?
Cassio. Thank you. Yeah, forgot his name. Sorry. Okay, but for example, Cassio is one that he exploits the fact that he's a bit of an alcoholic, right? He exploits that to his end. Then he exploits Rodrigo, with all of his desires for Desdemona and whatever he could use to Rodrigo is far from perfect. But with Othello, who in the beginning we see as this virtuous and great warrior, what is his vulnerability? And the one thing that he has that makes him vulnerable is the love that he has for his wife. And it goes to show you how vulnerable marital love is. And that is something that I think we really need to protect, especially in this day when the family is under assault by media and stuff like that. And it's like the family's under attack. But that thing at the core of it is such a frail and easily broken thing that trust between a man and wife that can be. And if anybody messes with that in any way, I mean, that is among one of the most evil things you could do, in my opinion.
I will say, how going back to you were talking about Rodrigo just for like a second, you mentioned him, and that just reminded me. There was a point, I believe, after Rodrigo attacked Cassio, Iago ran by and sliced his leg, right? From what I remember.
Yeah.
When he did that, the lights came on, everybody came rushing in, because people were trying murder, right?
Yeah.
And I like how we were talking before about the extremes of characters and stuff. How I said before, it almost made me laugh because Desdemona was so innocent and everything there. With this one, I was remembering that I believe Cassio actually stabbed Rodrigo too, and after once the lights came on, he saw oh, you're the guy trying to kill me, and he stabbed him.
Yeah.
Right. But I remember he was alive for a little bit, and then Iago comes in pretending I don't know what's going on here, right? And
yeah.
When he does that, I think he's oh, Rodrigo's still alive.
Yeah.
If he rats on me, I'm screwed.
Right.
So what he does is he's dude, you're trying to kill him, and then Rodrigo's you're just essentially, I'm just paraphrasing here, you dick, and then he just kills him.
Yeah.
And he's wow, you're a villain or whatever, as he's stabbing him.
Yeah.
What a villain, right?
yeah. He accuses him of being the villain.
I find to
silence him while he kills him. Yeah.
In the story, everything's such to the extremes of their characters. They have their characters, right? But they're just so to that character. There's no extreme definition. It's just they're ultimately this. Desdemona's ultimately innocent, or Iago's just the most conniving, unlikable person.
Right.
And even though I like him because the entire time I was pretty much just almost laughing, not in the way of disrespecting the work. Just
No, but you're just delighted by it.
It's delightful. It really is.
Yeah.
Because when you see him just take out his sword, just stab him, and just be like, "Wow, what a villain!" After, because he was like, "I don't want him to talk."
Right.
That made me laugh.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the story.
That's exactly what you would want a villain to do. Right?
And in a regular sense and an ironic sense at the same time.
Yeah.
I like to enjoy things that way, and I think the story lends itself very well to that.
Yeah,
So,
well, it is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. Once we get to our ratings, I'll expand on that more. But
You could make a good you could remake the play into a movie and make a complete comedy. It would be awesome.
Yeah,
It would be the best. I would love that so much. Someone should do that. It would be great.
There are funny scenes, and to help prepare for this, as I was reading, I also watched the performance of it, and for whatever reason, the way that they did the stage production and the way that they filmed it, they kept the audience out, all background noise, so you can only hear what's going on the stage. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, people are laughing so hard that you can hear it overcome the microphone. Yeah. So I mean, I think that it's a normal. It's meant to be.
That's probably why they did it, because everybody's laughing the whole time. They're not taking it seriously.
It is funny though. It is funny.
Yeah, it is. It's the whole time. I'm laughing ironically at it because there's so many funny moments in it. It's supposed to be taken seriously. It's a tragedy. It really truly is. If you take a step back and think about it, that it is it's a tragedy, right? Because this innocent woman didn't do anything wrong, married this man, and through a series of events, Iago mostly at fault, she is now dead, right? Her life is now taken from her, and what did she do? She did nothing. Right. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the outline of the story. Very
tragic. That's it. That's the whole thing. If you want a good sum up, there it is.
Yeah.
Yup. That's what you got. So yeah.
Yeah.
In the Shakespeare terms, though, a tragedy simply means that the central character is worse off, whereas in a comedy, they're better off at the end.
Oh, he's worse off for sure. I think.
Yeah, the major characters are worse off.
Yeah, everybody.
Iago's denounced, but we don't care about him.
I feel like death is probably worse off than life, depending.
Mm.
Well, he didn't seem to think so, didn't he? Because he was like, what did he say? Did Iago live or did he die at the end?
Iago lived, but he was
he's on his way to the execution.
Yes.
They were going to torture him, to try to figure out why he did it and then kill him.
Because Othello was like, I would kill you, but death seems like too much peace to me right now. So that's why he kills himself at the end, to give himself peace. So that's.
And that's the part that made me cry.
Mm. What's that when Othello?
When Othello goes, it's like when he discovers the truth, and it all comes rushing on him, all the emotion, and realizing he ended up betraying his wife, who didn't do a darn thing.
Yeah.
And he's completely overwhelmed, and he only sees one way out, and that's to end it. That's so sad.
I mean, it's like he said, it's mercy to himself at that point. So I wouldn't think about it as much as a punishment to him. Like I just said, just being merciful to his own self, really, at the end. Because what else is he?
Yeah.
What happens if he doesn't kill himself? Right? What is he gonna do?
He gets shot.
Yeah. So he's screwed either way, right? And he's just like, I'm gonna go in peace, just like that. So.
On his own terms.
Yeah. Well, he's a man that's known for rash action as well, as we find, right? Like he kills Desdemona, and he has no good reason to do that. He kind of jumps into it. And then he jumps into taking his own life as well in the end. He's just very much impulsive, it seems.
Well, I feel like a good thing to just touch on, real fast, is he still loved Desdemona down to the very last moment of her life, right? Like, I remember, I think, he was going in to kill her, and he was like, I don't want to shed her blood. I just, smother her with a pillow, make it quiet, don't shed her blood. He still loves her so much to the very end of it, right? And that's, I think, even at the end he says, remember me not as a man, too much, or was it too well? I forget.
Yeah, too well, yeah.
He was, remember me as one who looked too well, right? Because he loved her so much that the thought of her going and being with another man, I guess, just couldn't take it, so he killed her. he loved her so much he killed her, and that's really what's at the center of the whole story is that line that we get. So.
Yeah. Well, it's jealousy, right? Because love, properly understood is to will the best for somebody. And killing the innocent is not that. So it's a desire for her to be his that kind of runs away from him. But it's not that. It's not love. Love would not cause you to kill. At least not the object of your love.
And it's jealousy of all kinds too, and exposing the envy of people.
Yeah, well, and it's jealousy and
because
the lack of trust.
Yeah, Iago
and
was
the
jealous,
arbitrary.
and so he exposed the issues that developed envy out of the others.
Yeah. And I wanted to say something about trust here because here is his wife, who he is sworn to trust, and Iago, who he owes nothing to at all, and who does he trust? He trusts Iago, and he distrusts his wife. So it's like an arbitrary trust structure that he has. Why is he trusting this Iago guy so much? And part of it is because of the fact that these feelings must, they sound to him appealing in some way. She betrayed her father, so she'll betray you. And that kind of feel that like, I don't know, it wells up in him and it becomes its own driving force.
Here's a good question: if Iago would have never done anything at all, or he would have been there, or whatever like that, would their life have turned out well? Because Othello's no doubt a very, very flawed character, and that's what we see. Not only kind of get exposed by Iago, because what you just said, right? He should be trusting his wife, right? He shouldn't just be taking this word and running with it. Oh, she's cheating on me? You said so? Okay, I'm gonna kill her, right? Think about how close this boulder was to falling off the cliff before Iago pushed it, right?
Yeah.
Think about that. So just if he was never there, what would have happened, right? Would have ended up close to the same? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I think if it wasn't for, I think it could have happened at some point, but maybe not amongst this cast of characters.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could have been Othello. It could have been longer. It could have been a lifelong, wondering that was inflamed by Iago, but that might have come to fruition in time on its own. We can't say because we don't know, right? This is the way that things happen, but it's possible because of the fact that he was flawed, that those feelings existed already, and Iago was just able to perceive and draw them out.
I think maybe his paranoia could have been the next greatest enemy behind Iago.
Who?
Othello's.
Yeah.
Because he misheard the one. I think when Cassio mentioned Bianca, but he thought he said Desdemona.
Yeah, and just the fact that because of the fact that he's a warrior, I wonder if Shakespeare is getting at something about the psychology of people who are involved in bloodshed to the extent that Othello is as a general, because of the fact that does that make these kind of situations more possible? The fact that you are surrounded by violence and you make your way in the world through violence, does that make I wonder if Shakespeare is getting at something with that too, because there are lines that made me wonder that, but I can't remember what they were right off the top of my head. But he's a soldier, so he's no stranger to violence.
Another way I think you might be able to look at it is what was the intention of Shakespeare in writing the play? Was it, and this is just, I'm not saying I think it, it's a possibility, maybe he was trying to go against the black race in a way almost, because think about Othello's character, right? Obviously Iago is the villain we're seeing, right? But of how quickly Othello turns into a savage, right? I'm not saying I think that's what his intentions were. I'm saying at the time it was written, maybe that could be an intention to consider.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that we'll never know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Do we have any final thoughts?
I love this play. Like, this is, to me, when people talk about what a great playwright Shakespeare is, this is it. This is the crowning achievement that I've read, at least. There might be something else out there, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the pinnacle of Shakespeare. If you have not read Othello, or if you have not seen Othello, I would definitely recommend you do that before you make any kind of final judgment on what you think of Shakespeare, because I found this to be an absolute masterpiece.
I would agree. It's actually quite brilliant. I didn't really like the story, but it's very, very well written, very well done.
I think I really agree with a lot of what you're saying there. Like, I told you guys how I enjoyed it personally, but like I can also see it from multiple different angles, right? Just because like I went through it a lot with like a humorous intent, because I like to make fun of things. That's how I understand them better. Just because I went through it with a humorous intent doesn't mean I can't look at it from a different angle and see it seriously for like it really is like an amazing piece of art. Like reading through it, it's a type of story that I really wish. I don't know if they teach it in schools much. I would love to see it taught in schools more.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we all have experience with Shakespeare, but Cyndi, I don't know. I know that the three of us have never read it before. Have you ever read this?
Let me see. In high school, I read. Nope.
Yeah, see?
Not this one.
No, this one is not as well known as I feel it should be.
I feel it's like one because like this one, it's not like among his most unpopular plays, like, but I feel like it's one of the ones that's still not as popular as the others that gets highlighted more. Do you know what I'm saying?
I would say it's maybe mid-level, because like Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, they are probably the ones that are the most noteworthy.
Out of like the ones you just put as mid-level, out of those ones that don't really get noted as much, I really see Othello getting noted quite a bit, just because of the story. It's so interesting to people. If you bring it up, they're going to be captivated by it immediately. They're going to be like, "Oh, that sounds crazy. You want to see that, right?"
I think if there's anything I'd like to read, it's Richard III and Antony and Cleopatra. Those are they were two of the four that Joseph Brodsky, who was a poet and a college instructor, had said that he had a list of so many works to read in order to have an intelligent conversation, and he mentioned them, and then Hamlet and Macbeth, which I think that Hamlet and Macbeth are rightfully among the top.
Yes, I agree, but to me, this is it. This is it.
Alrighty, how would we rate this? 0 to 5 stars, half stars permitted. Larry?
I would give this 5 stars. I love this. To me, this is the crowning achievement of Shakespeare. Everybody should learn it in school, so that everybody can know how great Shakespeare is.
And you would say this is your absolute favorite Shakespeare?
Absolutely my favorite Shakespeare that I've read, yes.
Okay, Cyndi?
I would say it's brilliantly written, very well done. I would give it 5 stars.
I would say, and this is against I don't read a lot of older plays. I would say 4 stars, but it's absolutely the best Shakespeare I've ever read before. To be fair, though, I've read like a school dissected version of Romeo and Juliet, and that's about it. So it's a great introduction. I really enjoyed it a lot, and if there's more stuff like this, I am definitely interested in it. I love the story. Everything was great. I'm saying 4 stars.
I'm also going to give it 4 stars. I would say there are certain aspects that really were crowning achievements. I think that it can be read and enjoyed by even a modern-day audience, and I think that they will get it and enjoy it. But more importantly, I think that it really says a lot about the flaws within characters and the way that they were, it really puts together characters with humanistic traits, and yet those that have evident and believable monstrosities, like Iago. I think that at the same time, though, I still felt that there were some, rapid, some of the rapid moments to me seemed a bit. It made for some technicalities that I felt brought it down a little bit in my mind. There were some things that you had to look through. I think that the having characters like Desdemona and Amelia be so innocent and meek, I think that Shakespeare was getting at the opposite, and I think that that was such a brilliant idea to have characters like that, because I think that he was getting at the opposite, where while these characters might not be incredibly meaningful because they were women of that time, it actually brings attention to that and how maybe they do have more to contribute to society and thoughts of sanity.
Yeah. Well, you have Amelia and Desdemona, and then they kind of contrast each other a little bit, where they're both good, but Desdemona's better. Right? She has a better respect for what we were talking about earlier, which is the purity of matrimony, right? The sacredness of it. Where Amelia's like, oh well, the way men act, women should cheat on them sometimes. Remember that whole scene when they're having that conversation? And Desdemona wants nothing to do with it because she's a true, good, virtuous woman, So she's like, she is the best character in the book, and that's what makes it so tragic.
We do need more people like Desdemona. From that sense, she's depicted as a pushover, but from us as the reader, people like her need to be. I think we need to abide by her example a bit more, but at the same time, think clearly just keep doing what we're doing, but know that there are evil and manipulative and conniving people out there.
Yes, well, I would say that she's the pinnacle of virtue, and not a pushover. I wouldn't use that word. In the time and place that she was in, and her fate, once decided by Othello, was certain. But the way that she faced it was as noble and as virtuous as could be expected of anybody. So I would not say anything to denigrate her in any way as a character.
And when Aidan, when you said something as far as a school dissected version of Romeo and Juliet, that meant that you just read Romeo and Juliet, but the school, your teacher, just dissected it in every which way.
She got like a version that was kind of translated from Old English to regular English.
Oh, okay.
And then she also all the sex thing was taken out from what I remember.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it was a bit watered down.
Yeah. So you couldn't really count it, but I guess you could say I've read parts of it.
Okay, abridged, kind of, I guess.
Abridged.
And Romeo and Juliet is the one, the standard. It's like the standard, right? It's like the one that they teach everybody.
Yeah, it's basically standard in freshman year of high school.
Yeah. To me, it should be this one.
I would say that I think that it should be up to the teacher.
Well, yeah.
But I do think that we should be looking at Macbeth and Hamlet, and I would say Othello, Measure for Measure even, Julius Caesar. I think Romeo and Juliet, maybe give it a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it's everybody knows it though. Yeah, because what are you gonna read it? And you might find out a few things that you didn't know were in the actual play, but show a story that's not as well known. Just give it a little bit of time in the sun. I would love. It would be the best if my English teacher this year taught us Othello. Because not only could I just slack off the whole time because I already read it, but I would enjoy seeing everybody else's reactions because, again, I find so much humor in it, and I would love to see what other people think of it.
But I do think that rereading things is very beneficial. So
yeah.
So do your homework, Aidan.
Okay.
So. If you are interested in reading Othello and Shakespeare's other plays, here's my collection of his complete plays. Chronologically speaking, it was Othello was it was in the second half. Yeah, it was during the second half of, or toward the end of his
career.
Writing career. Yeah, his play.
Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. Because it is so good. It's
It was
So
it came
Yeah.
out after Measure for or it was written after Measure for Measure and before Macbeth.
Okay.
But there were only after Othello only 4 more tragedies, because his last ones were more either histories or they called them romances.
Prolific.
Mm-hmm. But be sure to join us next time on another episode of Literary Gladiators. For now, keep reading.